Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Scientists are pumped. They have discovered a new shape. It's a new Einstein shape, a 13-sided shape called the hat. Lots of copies of the shape can be used to cover a flat surface without ever overlapping or leaving any gaps. Also, the patterns never repeat. Mathematicians have been looking for a shape like this for 50 years. They call it an Einstein. It doesn't have anything to do with Albert Einstein, though. See, I thought the same thing. I was tricked as well. Einstein means one stone in German, and in this case, Einstein means a single shape that doesn't cause repeating patterns. I bet a lot of people will get that wrong in the future. Good trivia question, isn't it? Yes. In fact, I'm going to take that and use that as one of the questions. We have a new podcast. It's called 5 Daily Trivia Questions. I'm going to throw that in. So when that shows up, you'll know the answer. If you look at most tiled patterns, you'll see that the pattern repeats after a while. But this one? No. In 1961, one mathematician suggested there was no way to cover a surface without tiles without creating a repeating pattern. That person obviously wrong. Then his student created a set of tiles that didn't create a repeating pattern, but there were 20,426 shapes in that set. Later, the same student got the number down to 104 shapes. In the 1970s, mathematician Roger Penrose found 2 shapes could cover a surface with no repeating pattern. Last November, David Smith discovered it could be done. How does it work? Well, first they figured out that the hat shapes can group together to form a bigger shape called a metatile. The metatiles can then form even bigger shapes called supertiles, and so on. Since the metatiles, supertiles, supertiles, etc. never repeat, the hat is able to cover any flat surface without repeating. Smith later found a second Einstein shape. He calls that one the turtle. But careful study showed that both the hat and the turtle belong to a family of similar shapes that could be created by slightly changing the sizes of the hat. By studying the different shapes in the family, experts proved that the hat could never form a repeating pattern. As for the turtle, it still needs to be double-checked by experts. So before you rush out and tile your whole house in turtle shapes and then start bragging to your friends, might not be true yet. Petra Jenny has a 1973 Cherokee Piper airplane. Inside, crates to hold 17 dogs. Petra's flying the dogs to turn them over to Laura LaBelle, co-founder of the LaBelle Foundation Rescue in Los Angeles. Petra's helping to move the dogs around because a lot of shelters are full. There are also some buses who take bigger dogs up to Washington State. Some donors are paying for chihuahuas to fly to Connecticut. As for Petra, she operates Amelia Air, an all-volunteer nonprofit animal rescue organization she founded in 2019. Private pilots need regular flight hours to maintain their licenses, so why not put all that time and expense towards a mission? See, that's super smart. Amelia Air has rescued 1,300 dogs, cats, and even a few ferrets. She herself has 2 11-year-old pit bulls at home and no space for any more dogs, she says. If I took home every dog I transported, I couldn't fly anymore. Daniel Dorick has a pottery studio in his single-car garage in Echo Park. He started this as a social media experiment on Instagram. He said, I had 30 vases sitting in my garage, and I decided to throw them up on my personal Instagram account. I sold $3,000 worth of pottery in half a day. He ended up spending $700 to ship the vases because he didn't know what he was doing at the start of the business. Following the surprise success of the Instagram sale, he quit his downtown LA hotel job, spent 2 weeks in Mexico City where he created a business plan. With the help of a friend, he made a website, a logo, and branding. And he set up Danny D's Mud Shop in his Echo Park garage. The slogan, turning mud into really nice ceramics. He jokes, I left my 40-hour-a-week job to work 90 hours a week. I feel ya. Meanwhile, in Ventura, 8 months after her husband Chad was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, Stacey planted 1,100 flower seeds in her backyard. She said, something called me to do it. I needed a sanctuary. They were already growing vegetables and tending to a flock of free-roaming chickens and 3 cats and dreaming of building an urban farm. Chad said he's grateful that Stacey can walk outside and tend to her flowers if his mood turns dark, especially when his depression becomes overwhelming some days. Stacey says there's resiliency to plants. It's a language in itself. Stacey had no gardening experience and says the biggest thing was taking the leap of faith by reading the back of the seed packet and trusting the process. It's easy to get caught up in all the planning and logistics and never get started with it. Chad says, cancer's taught me that people are good. I appreciate people more now than ever before, and I give a lot more hugs. Good news, I've got a solution for all those dirty diapers you've got. We're going to build a house. Yeah, no, really. A group of scientists from the University of Kitakyushu in Japan have come up with a solution You see, concrete is one of the most common building materials in the world. It's used to construct many things: roads, sidewalks, buildings. It's usually made by mixing together sand, water, and cement. But what if we didn't have to mine for the sand? What if we took dirty diapers and used them to replace the sand? In the U.S. alone, over 8 billion pounds of dirty diapers are thrown away each year. So the scientists collect some used diapers, clean them up, treated the diapers with chemicals to get rid of any bad germs. The diapers were dried and shredded into small pieces that could be added to concrete. They found diaper concrete is just as safe and strong as regular concrete. It also doesn't have any harmful germs. And they point out, sand needs to be mined, which costs money. Used diapers are basically free, and there's no shortage of them. You know, someone's going to turn this into a business and actually make money off dirty diapers. Just give it some time. I trust innovators. And that's your 5 good news stories for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too, and you have a great day.